The world-renowned physicist returns to screens tonight for his hit series, Universe, where everything begins and ends. He will continue his exploration of the universe with a journey into darkness, to the center of the galaxy, where an invisible monster resides. Sagittarius A** weighs 4 million times the mass of the Sun, and is an object with such an immense gravitational field that nothing can escape it, including light. For decades, black holes were a thing of theoretical physics, with emphasis on the theory. However, in the late 20th century, scientific modernization led to the breakthrough discovery of the first black hole. In recent years, scientists have ramped up their efforts to study the phenomenon, gaining significant knowledge of the menaces of space. Many scientists would likely have once turned their noses up at the idea of a region of space-time where gravity is so strong that nothing can escape. The same can be said for the argument for the existence of God. Even in scientific circles, for hundreds of years, the question was not one to be asked. The existence of God was an irrefutable fact. In the modern day, the lack of evidence for a God has persuaded most scientists that no such higher power exists. While rejecting the label atheist, Professor Cox has previously said he has no personal faith. Yet, during an appearance on Joe Rogan's Powerful JRE podcast in 2019, he admitted there was a gap in which the existence of a God could fit within science. The pair were discussing the work that Professor Cox and his fellow scientists have done in attempting to popularize physics and make it accessible. He said, "What we should say is that science, we don't know all the answers, so we don't know where the laws of nature came from, and we don't know why the universe began in the way that it did, if indeed it had a beginning. We don't know why the Big Bang was very highly ordered, which ultimately shows that the only difference between the past and the future, the so-called arrow of time, is that in the past the universe was really ordered, and it's getting more disordered. And that necessary state of order at the start of the universe, which is really the reason we exist, because the universe began in a particular form, we don't know why that was. We'll probably find out at some point, and it'll probably have something to do with the laws of nature." It was at this point that the physicist said he was eager not to come across as pompous. He continued, "But I'm always careful. Science can sometimes sound arrogant. It can sound like it's the discipline of saying to people, well, you're not right, but it's not that. It's actually saying, this is what we've found out." I like to say it provides a framework in which, if you want to philosophize or you want to do theology, you want to ask these deep questions about why we're here, you have to operate in that framework because it's an observational framework. He went on to say that science is unable to answer ultimate questions at the moment, including whether the universe had a beginning. Professor Cox also said the universe might be eternal and that science might discover this at a later stage. This would, however, likely diminish the case for a creator, as, what place is there for a creator in something that is eternal?